Did you guys see the poll yesterday of what percentage of Americans are okay with people having IDs, valid IDs? Did you see this from CNN? I'm so glad you guys haven't seen it because I want to see a raw reaction from you.
I'm not going to say anything. I saw it.
Can you please play this clip right there? Watch this, folks. Go ahead.
Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country.
Bingo.
A photo ID to vote
Except
is not
for a
controversial
party.
in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able to vote. So something, not.
I love Harry Ann.
Did you? So are you surprised that majority of Americans are okay with you having a photo ID?
Actually, no, because I mean it's such a reasonable position. Like what's the argument against having it?
Oh,
Right.
Are you kidding me? You don't remember the debates we've had on photo ID over the last few years?
I know, but those are like public people, like people on TV and people in Congress who have a vested interest in illegal immigrant voting. But I think if you talk to somebody in the street, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, I don't think any reasonable average person would make a strong argument saying that you shouldn't have a photo ID.
By the way, you know who is not happy about this poll being ran by CNN?
DNC.
So many people in the DNC. Are you kidding me? Are you crazy? We're about to lose 7 elections if we pass this law. Do you realize how many states don't have IDs and we keep winning those states? You guys are dumb for even showing something like this. Why would you ever do something like this? I can only imagine what the newsroom, the types of calls the CEO and the people are getting right now saying, what the hell are you guys doing over there?
Now,
Let's
what
see a
happens if
reaction like this.
Ellison owns CNN because he wins?
Say that again.
What happens if Ellison owns CNN because he wins?
What happens if Larry Ellison
Owns CNN because he wins.
You see
Harry
more of
Enton,
this.
it would just be the beginning. You'll have more stories and more
So
neutrality.
what you're saying is Harry Enton is applying for a new job and a raise. He's saying, look, Mr. Ellison, I'm a logical player. Just look at me. I'm a reasonable player. Jeff, where are you at with this? Are you surprised by these numbers?
Not by the numbers, but I'm surprised they came out of CNN. I mean, let's face it. They've been on the other side of that for as long as we've been talking about it. You guys are. I mean, nobody would actually object to voter ID. We all have IDs. It's not really hard to get. And it's really obvious why anybody would be against the idea of voter ID. So this is not really, this is one of those 80-20 issues. It's probably closer to 90-10, if not 95-5.
What happens if it passes? What happens if it passes?
That's the interesting question. Does it actually make a difference? And will we see the differences
you
in the
think?
areas that we think that there'll be a difference?
What do you think?
What we think is because the Democratic Party in particular has been against this, and the only reason they have to be against it is because it must affect voting counts at the margins. We're not talking about, millions of fraudulent votes, but in these races that end up being within what they call the margin of lawyer, maybe it makes a difference in some of those, and it flips some districts and it flips some races. And if you impose a national voter ID or just any kind of voter ID requirement, does it take away those marginal votes and those marginal seats? That would be the interesting question. Does it really make a difference, or is this kind of just being overblown?
Have you seen these clips of
way they're
people
screaming,
saying
I think
voter
the
ID
answer
is
is
racist?
Yeah.
Have you not seen all of these voter ID is racist, voter ID is racist?
That's what makes people think there's something there. There has to be something there. If we take it away, will we see results?
What is this, Rob?
Definitely.
This is Chuck Schumer saying that passing the SAVE Act is basically Jim Crow 2.0.
Go for it. Go ahead.
Jim Crow 2.0.
Argument that the Senate rules allow the majority to require the minority to stage a talking filibuster to stop the SAVE Act.
We've got to get this done, and we've got to get it done very quickly. The SAVE Act is an abomination. It's Jim Crow 2.0 across the country. We are going to do everything we can to stop it.
So that's what. Can you play the other clip I just sent you, Rob? Because this is the language when you hear.
Just because it's so funny.
Do you think voter ID laws are racist?
I think so. Republicans are just trying to make it really fucking hard for minorities to vote.
Why do they do that?
Because they hate black people.
Do you have an ID?
Absolutely.
What do you have to say to all the people that say that black Americans can't get voter ID?
That's a really ignorant and stupid thing to say.
You're disproportionately making people who don't have IDs, which are usually people of color, have to go out and pay to vote, which is going to disencourage a lot of those people.
In America, the legacy of white supremacy, of perpetuating negative stereotypes for black and brown bodies.
When you make people pay money to to get IDs, a lot of times people won't vote. They won't think it's worth it. They don't have the extra money to spend.
I think anybody saying that is just dumb. We're in a country where all of us are majority educated and we have the resources at our hands and our disposal to easily find these things.
Can you imagine? They convinced that kid. They convinced that kid that voter ID is racist.
Well, let's be honest. It didn't take much to convince that kid, because I mean,
you're right.
Yeah, they're just regurgitating stuff that they.
They just clip a dog leash under that nose and just drag him around.
How many states don't require ID to vote? You know the number?
We've done this before.
Of course we have.
It's
the
like,
blue ones.
It's more than half that either don't require it at all or don't require a photo.
Oh, the numbers are staggering. We talk about this every few months. We talk about this on the podcast. But
that one,
the average
the yellow
person,
and blue.
The average person, if they knew how scary this was, zoom in a little bit, Rob. Okay, photo ID required is the blue states. Okay, non-photo ID required. Non-photo ID. Your photo, like I'm showing a Bally Total Fitness ID without my picture on it, right? Non-photo ID required are the orange ones, but look at gray. No ID required. And what do you notice there? New York, California, Nevada, I think that's Illinois. You got a bunch of these states that know. Can you go to the bottom to see what the exact numbers are?
Pat, you could overlay the presidential election except Pennsylvania.
15 states allow some or all voters to sign an affidavit attesting to their identity at the polls instead of presenting identification. Yeah, when you break down the numbers, I think this is massive. I think it's massive if they go out there and saying you need a photo ID to vote. Imagine how much fraud could be eliminated. There is no way in the world the left is going to let something like this pass. By the way, if this does pass, this could be one of the worst things for the left and one of the best things for logical players that are saying, yes, people should have an ID to vote. If I'm going through the airport, what do they ask for?
ID.
So I can't afford to show an ID at the airport, but not to vote.
Not just any ID. Yeah. You have to have the up-to-date real ID from your state with the little thing in the corner of your driver's license. Pat, what's interesting about this, voters are reasonable. This is the DNC doing it. Voters are reasonable. We saw during the election that in Arizona, Republicans and Democrats' feelings about immigration were 7 points apart. Now, why would they only be 7 points apart in Arizona? You want to know why? Because Democrats and Republicans went to Walmart and found homeless immigrants out in front panhandling. Democrats and Republicans went to the gas station and were approached by illegal immigrants. Democrats and Republicans found people sleeping in alleyways near their homes. So in Arizona, everybody was 7 points apart on immigration. You know what it was in Missouri, Pat? 21 points apart. Wow. You want to know why? Because it was a political party ideological difference, and the people in Missouri weren't going out to the end of their driveway and feeling personal safety concerns about the presence of all these people and homeless people that were illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. But you go to Arizona, and guess what? Suddenly it doesn't matter what political party, nobody wanted illegal aliens at Walmart or panhandling at ATMs or at the gas station. The voters are reasonable. This is the DNC.
I think this is. But Jeff asked the right question. Will it be a massive impact? Yeah, you know when you know it will be a massive impact? You know when you know it could be a massive impact? When the opposing side fears it. Let me tell you, our visit to D.C. this last Friday or whatever day we were in D.C., we went there and we were at the Pentagon, Department of War, and we're talking to all these other people. One of the conversations I had with Rand Paul was about the next story I'm going to get into. I asked Rand Paul, Rand, what are the chances Supreme Court will rule against Trump's tariffs? Because Trump keeps talking about Supreme Court and tariffs. Trump won't talk about Supreme Court and tariffs if he wasn't worried about it. You know what Rand Paul said? The reason why he's talking about it is because if Supreme Court does the right thing, tariffs do need to go through Congress. They may say, it's not constitutional for you to do it yourself. Can you imagine if that were to happen? Gang, once a year we host an event called the Sales Leadership Summit. If you're a sales leader running a business and you want to find out how is the most effective way to move your revenue, watch this clip about the event that's coming up with Sales Leadership Summit. Go ahead, Rob. Say you're a CEO, you're a boss, you're an executive, you're a leader. Which of these 4 feelings do you want your employees or your sales team to feel the most? Do you want them to like you? Do you want them to trust you? Do you want them to respect you? Or do you want them to fear you? And if I was to ask you to order them and say, I think I want them to like me first, then I want them to trust me, then I want them to respect me, I don't want them to fear me, right? This whole thing that we're talking about. Developing salespeople and a big sales team, which can exponentially increase the valuation of your company, your income, your lifestyle. This is a big problem to solve. You have to get these 4 things in order while you're developing people. Once a year, I host a conference called the Sales Leadership Summit, which is purely about developing salespeople. And we go through this 200-page manual together. This year, we're doing it at the Trump Doral from March 25th to the 27th. And that dynamic of like, trust, respect, and fear is one of the ones that creates a lot of debate. If you want to find out how you can attend this event, click on a link below, get registered. One of our consultants will get a hold of you. All right, having said that, click on a link below. This is, you have to qualify to attend. You need to do a minimum of $1 million and have 5 people on your sales team to attend this conference. But the link is below. Click on it, talk to our consultants. They will tell you all about it. Cannot wait to see many of you there this year at Trump Doral. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.